Hi everyone, and welcome back to the London Watch Collector channel. If you've just tuned in to my channel, I'm a watch collector, a watch enthusiast. I'm basically addicted to watches. And on my channel, I'll be sharing my passion for watches using 4K content. I'll be discussing and showing you brilliant timepieces ranging from Seiko to Patek Philippe. So guys, if you enjoy my reviews, please subscribe to my channel and make sure to follow me on Instagram. So guys, as promised, this will be a review where I'll be going into the in-depth when it comes to the GMT Master. In this review, I won't be covering all the models that were produced by Rolex, but what I'll be doing is giving you a bit of history when it comes to the GMT Master, which was first produced in the 1950s. And then I'll be comparing it to the latest GMT Master II, the 126710 BLRO, the one that I purchased a couple of weeks ago. And as you guys know, I also have the BLNR. So I'll be showing that in the review as well, just to give you an idea of what has changed and what development has come since then. If you'd like me to do more Rolex history reviews, do let me know. So as I'm sure you all know that in 1926, Rolex invented the waterproof case called the Oyster, and in 1931, it was finalized as the self-winding system, hence the name Perpetual. In the 1950s, the transportation methods were developing in the world, and in 1954, the Boeing 707 has completed its first flight. So Pan American Airways were concerned with the well-being of its pilots, and they just wanted a way to make them more comfortable when they're actually flying. So they felt it was necessary to give the pilots a technical wristwatch or a tool watch so that they can simultaneously check two different time zones by just a glance at their watch. So Pan Am contacted Rolex and asked them to create such a modern watch, and Rolex came up with the first ever GMT Master. To us in 2018, this might sound like, oh, it's not a big deal, because by now we have quartz watches, digital watches, or a computer for that matter. But you can only imagine back in the 1950s where there wasn't anything called a digital watch or a phone. So it was actually quite an essential tool. And I feel Rolex gets the hats off for being able to come with a model that would be able to tell you two different time zones and doing it all purely mechanically. I feel that they deserve an applaud. So for you guys who are not aware, the GMT stands for the Greenwich Mean Time. So the GMT Master, it was actually registered in April 1955. And the photo you see here, it was the first ever GMT Master watch released, which was in production from 1955 to 1959. And the reference was 6542/0 being the stainless steel, and then the 6542/8, which was an 18 karat gold. So the diameter was a 38mm, and it had a date function as well as a Cyclops lens. But if you can see, it doesn't have any crown guards. And the bezel was initially made of a material called bakelite, which is actually like an artificial resin, or nowadays we'll call it as plastic. It's a special type of plastic. It's non-soluble, non-fusible. Later, a couple of years after that, they changed the bakelite bezel to aluminium, which stayed in production until the year 2007, I believe. And the numerals and indices contained radium. For the luminescent effect, it was also changed to tritium because of the radioactive dangers that radium causes, and also caused problems for the Pan American pilots in the metal detectors. So talking about the movement of the 6542, it had a caliber 1035, which was based on the caliber 1030, which had 18,000 beats per hour. But it was not until 1959 and the beginning of the 1960s where the actual GMT Master was born, and it has the reference 1675. And why do I say that? It's because of the upgrades that the first GMT Master 6542 received. The 1675 stayed in production for 21 years, believe it or not, and was waterproof to a depth of 50 meters and had a rotating bezel and a 24-hour hand. It was 2mm larger than the 6542, making it a 40mm case. And the most significant change, which was the crown guards. Two different types of crown guards were produced. The first, which was called by collectors as Cornino, which had thinner and smaller guards. The second, which had more classic characteristics. The crown was also changed. It was still twin lock, but had a smaller diameter. So during these 21 years of this watch being produced, some changes had to happen, such as a large GMT hand. Other changes, such as the word Swiss at the bottom of the dial, became Swiss T less than 25. And what they meant is by the tritium had less than 25 units of that radioactive. So it was a way of telling the wearer of the watch that it's actually safe to wear this watch and nothing to worry about. And also the hyphen between the word oyster and perpetual also disappeared. So moving on to the year 2013, Basel to be exact, Rolex presented the GMT Master II for the first time in 904L stainless steel. It had a reference 116710 BLNR. This model is still in production. There are some rumors it might get discontinued. This is the model I bought back in 2016. It has a Cerachrome bezel with a blue and black ceramic insert, which represents the day and night. Coming to 2018, where the 126710 BLRO was produced. So the sapphire crystal has been engraved with the presentation of the Rolex crown situated at 6 o'clock, close to the external edge. This engraving, which is almost invisible to the naked eye, can be seen with a magnifying lens on a dark background. In case the original crystal has been substituted, the letter S will appear engraved instead of the Rolex crown. It's fitted with a 904L Jubilee bracelet, reference 69200, and has a folding oyster lock safety clasp and an easy 5mm comfort extension link. On this model, Rolex has repeatedly engraved the internal edge with the word Rolex as already done on the GMT Master II versions. This is actually done by a process called as laser etching. It has the caliber 3285 at beats at 28,800 beats per hour. And this is where, once you look at the history of the GMT Master, you start to appreciate why Rolex put the Jubilee bracelet on the 2018 model. I was initially against the Jubilee, but once you look into the history of the GMT Master and the long journey it's been through, you appreciate it having a Jubilee bracelet. Of course, no review is complete without a wrist shot. So there you go, guys. That's the watch on my wrist, and as you can see, it just pops in every way. The Jubilee bracelet, the Cerachrome bezel, it just goes as a perfect combination. So that's why everything changed. The moment I saw the watch, the moment I tried it on, seeing it in the flesh is different from seeing it in photos. I hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you next week. That's all for this week. Thank you for watching.